In November, members of the global cycling community returned to the picturesque Siam Country Club in Thailand for a two-day celebration of pedal power. The second edition of Bangkok CycleFest offered thousands of cycling fanatics fast-paced racing and an opportunity to ride for all. In this special program, we catch up with former Tour de France winner Andy Schleck.
On the bike, everybody's the same, you know. You have to pedal to come from A to B, and you meet people, with different diets.
We hear about the popularity of cycling in the land of smiles.
If out of 10, people that I met knew, 7 or 9 of them ride either inside, indoor cycling, or outside, because they know that cycling actually the sport for every male, female, and every age. So that's why they start to do it.
And learn about the impact the Bangkok CycleFest is having.
All children love bicycle, and very few of them who are, the young adult use it from the center into the town and the marketplace like this. So it is very useful.
Plus, we have all the action from the weekend's racing. But first, we get to know more about the Bangkok CycleFest and the surrounding region. Pattaya has long been a popular destination for Thai and international tourists alike. Located 100 kilometers south of Bangkok, the vibrant city boasts charms such as the Buddhist temple known as the Sanctuary of Truth and atmospheric floating markets which have become the hub of Pattaya's culinary and shopping scene. Venture to the outskirts of the city and you'll find Siam Country Club, one of Thailand's premier golfing destinations with its 3 challenging courses. As the Bangkok CycleFest returned to this spectacular venue in November, it would be bikes taking centre stage once again for the event's second edition. A lively festival arena provided the opportunity to shop, learn and relax, while a closed road course of 15.5 kilometres was dedicated to 7 race categories, from the highly competitive to inclusive leisure rides. Designed with all abilities in mind, the course was ideal to serve up a feast of compelling action, and with the introduction of a new 20-kilometre off-road circuit, there truly was something for everyone at the 2018 Bangkok CycleFest. There was a strong lineup for the open category, with 4 laps of the 15.5-kilometre circuit awaiting the riders. It would be former Tour de France winner Andy Schleck who set the riders on their way, as both the men's and women's categories were contested side by side. In the men's event, an early solo breakaway from Konstantin Fast caused disarray in the peloton behind. It would take until the final lap for the main bunch to find any sort of cohesion and begin closing down the flying Fast. But the daring Russian was ultimately rewarded, finishing off a stunning solo effort to take the victory and the Garmin Watch prize. The first woman to cross the line was the defending champion, Bhatia Suditam, with a dominant display in a winning time of 1 hour, 51 minutes and 31 seconds.
I feel good, But during the race, one time I feel very tight myself, a few minutes, But I must go to breakaway because I don't have chance. The 60 kilograms rider cannot to get sprint,
It was fun as always. The event has improved a lot since the first year I rode.
The shorter classic category gave riders the opportunity to sample 3 laps of the CycleFest route, totalling 46.5 kilometres. The reduced distance promised an even more aggressive race, and it would live up to that expectation as the peloton split almost immediately. From a lead group of 4, niche 100-plus rider Natachai Malatong used the help of a teammate to launch the winning move, giving himself plenty of time to celebrate. In the women's race, 2 teammates produced what was a winning team time trial performance. Kulabond Charansuk and Banchanit Bongsatapond crossed the line together for one of the moments of the weekend. In the end, Charansuk was judged to have crossed the line first to take the top step on the female podium.
Today I have come with my teammate. She finished second. I won because of her. We both aimed to finish together, but because of the timing system, I crossed just ahead of her. It was fun. We helped each other.
One of the most recognisable faces at this year's Bangkok Bank CycleFest was former Tour de France winner Andy Schleck. Since retiring from racing in 2014, the 2010 champion has not ventured far from the bike.
My normal job is that I have a bike shop, and I try to sell bikes. But then I try to create a lot about, the community of cycling, because I think it's a fantastic, a very democratic sport. On the bike, everybody is the same. You have to pedal to come from A to B, and you meet people, or you meet people with different diets. I do a lot of events myself, also charity events, and I am brand ambassador for the brand Skoda, so I do some PR for them in the Tour de France.
Now in his role as ambassador for the Bangkok Bank CycleFest, the Luxembourger was impressed by the challenge set to CycleFest riders.
I mean, this is an area where people come and play golf, so, all the surrounding is very beautiful made, the roads are very good. I had a chance to do the off-road mountain bike course as well, which is quite impressive because, I'm not used to ride, next to pineapple plants and all the rest which is out there. So I think, this is the second year this event happens. I think it's a big step up from last year, what I heard, in terms of the parkour. I think also a lot more people.
The former Tour de France winner was not the only familiar face at this year's CycleFest. Actress and cycling obsessive Van Banitjarun was back for 2018, along with actor and model Nut Debhasdin. As keen riders, fitting rides into their busy schedules, both were keen to learn from Schleck's experience on the bike.
It's always good to see a pro, 5 minutes ago I was just talking to him, and we were talking about life and his career and how he did it all his life, and now that he's not riding as a professional anymore, he's kind of lost, So I'm like, okay, we were sharing the same passion. It's always good to see how the pros think about cycling and how they feel about the sport,
Wow, he's great. He taught me a lot. We met before in Thailand for some charity ride, and he's like, okay, this is normal to ride quite close. In a tour, we kind of ride so close, we can touch each other, the handlebars quite close. You just need to focus on your pedals, your stroke, and everything be fine. It's kind of it's great. It made me, trust and love my bike more.
Van, I know already for 2 years. I met her here. She just started riding on the road, and she's almost a semi-professional, following training plans, and you see that also she's a real character here in Thailand, a lot of followers. When I see where she comes from, as just riding the bike, to school and doing some mountain biking, and now she's actually already on a really quite a good level, and all the other young stars following her. I think it's just a matter of time that we have also, Thai people, performing in the international peloton.
While Van isn't quite looking at the international stage yet, her dedicated training program has the aim of competing at national level.
Now I focus more on individual time trial because next year in Thailand, I'll join the individual time trial Thailand Championship, 5 stages I need to complete. So kind of focus and then do my best for it.
If I'm not an actor, I would love to do cycling professionally, but right now I'm 35, I'm a bit too old. So do it just for passion, just for fun, and for the sake of the health.
With the help of the likes of Nut and Van Van, the cycling bug is clearly spreading throughout Thailand, and Ondi Schleck is along for the ride.
You know, they have something, they have the willpower, and that is, I mean, what counts. And if I can give a hand, you know, and help them and teach them and inspire them, I'm honored, but also more than happy to do that, yeah.
With the Bangkok CycleFest now a clear focal point of Thailand's cycling calendar, what is the state of the sport in a country where pedal power is gaining momentum?
Cycling is getting more popular among Thai society because of the urbanization. People seem to enjoy sport, and because Thailand is a place where we have a lot of expats and also foreigners. So if we involve in this type of sport, I think we could engage with the people, not only for Thai people, but also the foreigner, the expat, and also friends from our neighboring country.
When I first came to Southeast Asia in 2010, there was a few races spotted around, particularly in Malaysia and in Thailand, but now every year you see more races popping up.
I work as the director of the professional team named Thailand Cycling, Thailand Continental Cycling Teams, and become the head coach of the Thai national team. The cycling more and more popular in Thailand. And then now coming up again, we have one of the good course named Skylane in Bangkok. So every Saturday, Sunday, a lot of people come to exercise by bike. I can see a lot of big difference.
Luckily for the sport, some of Thailand's most famous faces are big cycling fans, and with the help of social media, are driving its current growth and promoting the sport to their fans.
Thanks to the social media, now they're taking photos, like many of my fans like selfie with me, and then they kind of like post on Instagram, and that kind of I think that's the word of mouth already on social media that, okay, just come and join us, you know how fun it is. If out of 10, like people that I met new, like 7 or 9 of them ride either like inside, indoor cycling, or outside, because they know that cycling actually the sport for every, you know, male, female, and every age. So that's why they start to do it.
You don't have to be rich to do cycling. You know, there's always different kind of range of equipments that you can buy. You don't have to buy like fancy ones. You know, you can just get a bike and just ride. You know, it's a wonderful feeling. People are growing on it, and cycling is picking up really quickly in Thailand. I love to see an event like this, so you can support like the cyclists in Thailand.
I started riding road bike since February, and for now I think I really fall in love with it. Because first time I just borrowed my friend's bike, and for now I have my own one, and I love it.
With enthusiastic amateurs and an increasingly competitive pro scene, the industry is growing in Asia, with Thailand well placed to become the region's powerhouse. One of the new highlights of the weekend for 2018 was an off-road category, a 40-kilometre circuit full of gravel and mud for the mountain bikers to get stuck into. A fast start from the packed field ahead of the first off-road section was a sign of things to come. The picturesque route took riders over 3 unique sections featuring obstacles and gullies to keep them on their toes, with both men and women taking to the course simultaneously. The men's event saw an epic 2-man battle and was only decided in the very final meters, with Siroj Rooted sprinting his way to the top spot.
I really enjoyed the course, especially between 14 and 15 kilometers. There was water and it was hilly. The course was great.
An unexpected win in the women's category came for Australian Sarah Teager, who held off the rest of the field to cap off a memorable day out.
It's a bit of a shock. Certainly wasn't coming here thinking that we were going to do any kind of a placing, but yeah, we've had a great time and it's been a really, really great day.
The popular sprint category was back for 2018 with one of the strongest fields at the Bangkok CycleFest on show. With 2 laps totalling just 31 kilometres, members of the Thailand national team decided to set a very high pace. By the halfway point, a group of 3 had escaped and would remain together until the final 100 metres, where Rangsiman Hunkard outpowered his fellow countrymen. A strong showing and proof that Thai racing is in rude health as a trio of young riders filled out the podium. In the women's category, a familiar face would find herself on the top step of the podium. Having already tasted success in the classic, Kunlabond Chariansuk was back on top, this time without the help of her teammate, for a fantastic solo win. The Masters event gave some of the more experienced riders at the Bangkok CycleFest the chance to taste glory. Like the open category, the race consisted of 4 laps around the CycleFest course, which gave ample opportunity for the strongest participants to come to the fore. The peloton largely stayed together, and as the riders approached the final kilometres, the race came down to a reduced bunch sprint. Philippe de Trotzel hitting the line first, closely followed by Scotland's Paul Cook and Ireland's Alan Benson.
Fantastic course. Actually, it's close to where I live, so I train here a lot. It's never flat, always up and down. Today was quite some wind. The area of the golf course we never really have access to, so it's fantastic to see that now today. Very nice course.
In the women's category, there wouldn't be a repeat of the men's finish. Bonbat Busibong crossing the line with no competitors in sight, demonstrating assured dominance in the race as she finished a full minute ahead of runner-up Yupin Yu. Communication and determination would be key as the team time trial squad set off one by one in a bid to tackle 4 laps of the 15.5-kilometre circuit in the fastest time. With a wide range of ability and experience out on the course, the race was suited to both novices and experienced riders. The favourable conditions, with little wind and dry roads, allowed the riders to assume strong racing positions, and with fast splits being recorded, it was all to ride for on the final lap. It was Team Niche 100 Plus who set the pace with an early benchmark time of 1 hour, 8 minutes and 44 seconds. It was a time others struggled to match. That was until defending champions, Team Rujai Interbike, who emerged victorious.
Well, we came into the event as defending champions, so the aim was to win again. We've been training hard all year, racing hard all year. We're all on a training programme, so we train every day. We all know our strengths and weaknesses and how to ride together. On the day, you know, we had to ride well, you have the strength, and you got to have the luck as well, which fortunately we did.
Time now to take a step back from the drama of the weekend's racing. Through its philosophy of Ride for All, the Bangkok Bank CycleFest offers much more than an opportunity to ride on closed roads. A lasting social impact in the local area of Pattaya has been a strong focus. This year, the CycleFest carried on from the work of the 2017 edition, where a donation of bikes and helmets was given to a number of local charities, including the Father Ray Foundation, an organisation that cares for some of the most disadvantaged children in the region.
Yeah, last year we received 50 bicycles, and then we spread them into different projects. 10 in this project, 20 in this project, and others like this. All children love bicycle. They use it in our compound for the safety, and very few of them who are, the young adult use it from the center into the town and the marketplace like this. So it is very useful. They learn about receiving. So we are teaching them that we receive it from the Thai people who support us, and then they have to share.
This year we work with the IMG and Father Ray Foundation, who oversee orphans and also disadvantaged children. So certain fund that we raise from this activity, we provide certain donation to them.
This year, Bangkok Bank CycleFest support to the foundation was a massive 720,000 Thai baht.
The donation will go to the education fund for our children, which we have to spend a lot so that they can gain, the good education, the quality of life.
As well as the donation, some children were invited to take part in the fun ride, where all ages and abilities could enjoy the benefits of cycling on the CycleFest circuit.
Sport activities is part of everyone's life, and then this will help them for the good condition of their physical life, and also they learn how to live with other people. With the sport, they gain the discipline of life, to respect each other, to respect norms of society.
A fitting way to end a weekend of cycling celebration and the growing legacy of the Bangkok Bank CycleFest. That's all from this very special look back at the second edition of the Bangkok Bank CycleFest. Thanks for watching.